Hare, Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for today's session on Srimad Bhagavatam as we continue our discussions today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatah Jayamudire Nashtaprayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we are continuing our 15th chapter. Today we'll be studying two shlokas, shloka number 7 and 8. Yat संश्रया द्रुपद गेहम उपागतानाम राज्ञां स्वयंवर मुखे स्मरद दुर्मदानाम तेजहृतं खरु मया अभिहतः च मत्स्यः सञ्जीकृतेन धनुष अधिगता च कृष्णा यत्सन्निधौ अहम् उ खाण्डवम् अग्नेयदाः इन्द्रं च सामरगणं तरसा विजित्य लब्धा सभामय कृत अद्भुत शिल्पमाया दिग्भ्यो अहर नृपतयः बलिम् अध्वरेते यत् संश्रयात् द्रुपद गेहम् उपागतानां राज्ञां स्वयंवरमुखे स्मर दुर्मदानां तेजः वृतं खलु मय अभिहतः च मत्स्यः सञ्जीकृतेन धनुष अधिगता च कृष्णा यत्सन्निधौ अहम् उ खाण्डवम् अग्नेय अदाम् इन्द्रं च सामर्गनं तरसा विजित्य लब्धा सभा मय कृत अद्भुत शिल्पमाया दिग्भ्यः अहर नृपतयः बलिम् अध्वरेते. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Vishwaguru Abhacharnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King Drupada for the selection of the bridegroom. With my bow and arrow, I could pierce the fish target and thereby gain the hand of Draupadi. Because he was near me, it was possible for me to conquer with great dexterity the powerful king of heaven, Indradeva, along with his demigod associates, and thus enable the fire god to devastate the Khāṇḍava Forest. And only by his grace was the demon named Maya saved from the blazing Khāṇḍava Forest. And thus we could build our assembly house of wonderful architectural workmanship where all the princes assembled during the performance of the Rājasūya-yajña and paid you tributes. Purport: Draupadi was the most beautiful daughter of King Drupada, and when she was a young girl, almost all the princes desired her hand. But Drupad Maharaj decided to hand over his daughter to Arjuna only, and therefore contrived a peculiar way. There was a fish hanging on the inner roof of the house under the protection of a veil. The condition was that, out of the princely order, one must be able to pierce the fish's eye through the veil of protection, and no one would be allowed to look up at the target. On the ground, there was a water pot in which the target and wheel were reflected, and one had to fix his aim towards the target by looking at the trembling water in the pot. Maharaj Drupad well knew that only Arjuna or alternatively Karna could successfully carry out the plan. But still he wanted to hand his daughter to Arjuna. And in the assembly of the princely order, when Drishtadyumna, the younger brother of Draupadi, introduced all the princes to his grown-up sister, Karna was also present in the game. But Draupadi tactfully avoided Karna as the rival of Arjuna, and she expressed a desire to her brother Drishtadyumna that she was unable to accept anyone who was less than a Kshatriya. The Vaishyas and the Shudras are less important than the Kshatriyas. Karna was known as the son of a carpenter, a Shudra. So Draupadi avoided Karna by this plea. When Arjuna, in the dress of a poor Brahmana, pierced the difficult target, everyone was astonished, and all of them, especially Karna, offered a stiff fight to Arjuna. But as usual, By the grace of Lord Krishna, he was able to emerge very successful in the princely fight and thus gain the valuable hand of Krishna or Draupadi. Arjuna was lamentingly remembering the incident in the absence of the Lord, by whose strength only he was so powerful. The demon Mayadanav was an inhabitant of the forest Khāṇḍava, and when the Khāṇḍava forest was set on fire, he asked protection from Arjuna. Arjuna saved his life, and as a result of this, the demon felt obliged. He reciprocated by building a wonderful assembly house for the Pandavas, which attracted the extraordinary attention of all state princes. They felt the supernatural power of the Pandavas, and thus, without grudge, all of them submitted and paid tributes to the emperor. The demons possess wonderful and supernatural powers to create material wonders, but they are always disturbing elements of the society. The modern demons are the harmful material scientists who create some material wonders for disturbance in the society. For example, the creation of nuclear weapons has caused some panic in human society. Maya was also a materialist like that, and he knew the art of creating such wonderful things. And yet, Lord Krishna wanted to kill him. When he was chased both by the fire and by the wheel of the Lord Krishna, he took shelter of such a devotee as Arjuna, who saved him from the wrath of the fire of Lord Krishna. Devotees are therefore more merciful than the Lord. And in devotional service, the mercy of a devotee is more valuable than the mercy of the Lord. Both the fire and the Lord ceased from chasing the demon as soon as both of them saw that the demon was given shelter by such a devotee as Arjuna. This demon, feeling obliged to Arjuna, wanted to do him some service to show his gratefulness, but Arjuna declined to accept anything from him in exchange. Lord Shri Krishna, however, being pleased with Maya for his taking shelter of a devotee, asked him to render service unto King Yudhishthir by building a wonderful assembly house. The process is that by the grace of the devotee, the mercy of the Lord is obtained, and by the mercy of the Lord, a chance to serve the Lord's devotee is obtained. The club of Bhimsen was also a gift of Mayadanav. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsham नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैवच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. We try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4 chapter 15 shloka number 7 and 8. In this shloka, uh, how he remembering Arjuna remembering how his energy uh, stand because of Krishna, and how after the giving up this and giving go his dham, how his condition that describing in that shloka. And ahead they describe about the Maidanva story. You know, everyone know Maidanva story, and here they said that describe that the Maidana taking the shelter of such a devotee as Arjuna, and so here they told that devotee is therefore more merciful than Lord, and uh, with with we get mercy or bhakti through the devotees. If devotee please, then we received the Krishna's bhakti. This here described. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for a wonderful summarization, and apologies to the whole team for the delay which has been happening today. So here we are seeing the particular episode where Arjuna is lamenting because Krishna has departed from this particular world. And as we know, because of that, Arjuna is recalling the various incidents in which Krishna has played a very significant part in his life, in the various achievements that he has had. And he has come to the conclusion that if it were not for Krishna's presence, there would not have been any success that he would have ever achieved. So these verses are highlighting Krishna's intervention in Arjuna's life, and it's a learning for us so that we also start depending completely on Krishna for his mercy. Only by his mercy, Krishna Arjuna is saying that he could vanquish the princess which had assembled in the palace of Drupad for the selection of Draupadi as a bridegroom. It was only because of mercy of Krishna that he was able to use the bow and arrow and pierce the fish target and win the hand of Draupadi. And because Krishna was near, it was possible for Arjuna to conquer with great dexterity even Indradev, who is the powerful king of heaven. And then it was there that with the demigod associates who were also there with Indradev, he could defeat them and enabled Agnidev to devour the Khāṇḍava forest. So again, it was Krishna's grace that the Maya demon was saved from the blazing Khāṇḍava forest. And as a result, Maya built the assembly house, which was an example of wonderful architectural workmanship, where all the princes assembled and paid tributes to Yudhishthir Maharaj. So these episodes we have all been hearing repeatedly through different, I'll say, texts and lectures. Like Draupadi was the beautiful daughter of Drupada, and Drupad, as a father, wanted only Arjuna to marry his daughter. And so he devised the game wherein the fish was hanging up, it was rotating, and the person who wanted to marry Draupadi had to pierce the eye of the fish by looking at the reflection in the water below. And the Maharaj Drupad very well knew that it can be only Arjuna or Karna who can successfully carry out this mission. Now, when Dristadumna, who is the brother of Draupadi, he started introducing all the princes. Karna was also present there. But Draupadi said that she would not like to marry anyone lesser than a Kshatriya. And automatically, Karna could not become qualified to take part because he was known as the son of a carpenter, Sutaputraha, that is a Shudraha. Now, Arjuna at that time was present in the dress of a poor Brahmana, and he easily pierced the target. Everyone was surprised, and all of them, especially Karna, was shocked. And so they started having a fight with Arjun. But then, because Krishna was there, Arjuna was able to emerge victorious and gain the valuable hand of Draupadi, who is also known as Krishna. Now, this particular episode makes us understand that even powerful kings they can be blinded by their ego and material power. But then all of them failed in this particular test which was arranged. While Arjuna, who was disguised as a Brahmana, successfully performed the task. So this success was not due to the skills of Arjuna, but was something which was enabled by Krishna with his divine support. Even the greatest abilities without divine support are ineffective. Arjuna acknowledges that it was Krishna's presence that made him victorious. There are so many electrical appliances that we know of, but then none of them can function without power. Similarly, a devotee cannot succeed without Krishna's energy. And that is why presence of Krishna and acceptance of his uh, plan in our lives is very, very important. And then Arjuna talks about the three significant incidents where Krishna's presence played a key role. First was burning of the Khāṇḍava Forest. So again here, Arjuna with Krishna's guidance helped Agni devour the forest. Indra, who is also Arjuna's divine father, opposed this, but he was defeated in the fight. So Arjuna's celestial weapons, which we know of, Indra had gifted all of them to him after this battle. The second episode is the building of the divine assembly hall by Mayadana. Because after the Khandava battle, Mayadevan, he built the extraordinary palace. And this was used in the Rājasūya-yajña. It was in this hall that Duryodhana was humiliated, fueling his envy towards the Pandavas. And rest we all know how it became the reason for the Kurukshetra war. And third episode is the tributes from the kings. Because Yudhishthira conducted a Rajasuya sacrifice signifying his supremacy, and all kings submitted tribute acknowledging his rule. Now, this was possible only because Krishna personally supported the Pandavas. Amongst these three, the episode of Maya Danav is very, very important to understand. Now, he was always a resident of the Khāṇḍava Forest, and when Khāṇḍava Forest was set on fire, at that time he had no way to escape except for taking the support and protection from Arjuna. And Arjuna saved his life, because of which Mayadano felt obliged. And in reciprocation, he built this wonderful assembly house for the Pandavas, which attracted extraordinary attention. Because of that house, everyone felt the supernatural power of Pandavas. And so, without grudge, all of them submitted and paid tributes to Emperor. Now, this makes us understand or question why this particular Danava had all these powers. The reason Prabhupada explains in the purport is that demons always possess wonderful supernatural powers to create material wonders. But then, whatever they do, they are always disturbing elements of the society. Maya was a materialist and he knew the art of creating wonderful things. But Krishna wanted him to be killed. And so, when he was chased by both fire and by the will of Krishna, he took shelter of devotee Arjuna, who saved him from the wrath of fire of Lord Krishna. So, what it makes us understand is that devotees are more merciful than the Lord, and in devotional service, the mercy of a devotee is more valuable than the mercy of the Lord. Both the fire and the Lord chased the demon, but as soon as they saw that he was given shelter by Arjuna, they stopped. So, the demon felt obliged to Arjuna. To show his gratefulness, he wanted to do something. But Arjuna, as usual, decided, no, I don't want anything in exchange. But Krishna at the same time had become very pleased because Maya had taken shelter of a devotee. And so he asked Maya to do the service of building the assembly house. Now, what it makes us understand is that by the grace of the devotee, the mercy of the Lord is obtained. And by the mercy of the Lord, a chance to serve the Lord's devotee is obtained. So this episode becomes very, very important for us to proceed further in our life. Because even in modern society, we see so many demons. The material scientists, they are all harmful and they are all the modern demons. Example is the nuclear weapons. So many other different types of weapons. All of that is leading to panic in human society. So we all need to surrender to Krishna to be able to withstand the ill effects of all these activities. So what we learn from these shlokas is four important aspects. One, success is due to Krishna's mercy. Two, pride leads to downfall. Three, material opulence is temporary. And fourth, Bhagwan's presence ensures victory always for everyone. So Arjuna, though the best archer, he is himself acknowledging that without Krishna, he would have failed. So this proves that success is due to Krishna's mercy. The kings at Draupadi's Swayamvara failed due to arrogance. A humble devotee can receive divine blessings, and that is why we understand pride leads to a downfall. The grand palace of the Pandavas was built by the Maya Danav, but even that was destroyed. So only eternal shelter is Krishna's service. So we understand material opulence is temporary. Be it in war, governance, or personal challenges, a devotee should always seek Krishna's guidance because Bhagwan's presence ensures victory. And this is what the parting statement of Bhagavad Gita is, wherein we understand what has been told very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. So if you see the 18th chapter, which is titled The Perfection of Renunciation, the very last verse is Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partha Dharurdhara Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. So Sanjay is saying, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mistakes, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will certainly be the opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So this is what is important in our life. So these verses are highlighting the dependency of even the most powerful personalities on Krishna's grace. Despite of being the greatest warrior, Arjuna is lamenting that his past glories were due to Krishna's presence, and without him, everything is meaningless. So this is a reminder that our true wealth is not our skills, possessions, or achievements, but our connection with Krishna. So let us, like Arjuna, cultivate gratitude, humility, unwavering faith in Krishna, knowing that He alone is our eternal well wisher.